everybody else in my circle that couldn't manage or couldn't take care of themselves. But since I'm strong and I'm capable, I could do it, and that's my role. You know, I'm the daughter, I'm the sister. That's my role. I just do it, and it took my son's challenges and expression of his vulnerabilities to wake me up, and that was my turning point. So then I instantly started saying, okay, I need to stop this, and this. I can't be everything to everybody. And then I really had to ask myself what I needed to do differently, what I needed to change. It's taken a toll on my marriage. It's taken a toll in our house. It's made me realize that I've never really spoken my truth, my honest truth, because I'm always so concerned with the other people and the other people's well-being that I kind of confine myself. I say just enough to feel like, oh, I'm expressed myself.
And also, one of the important things is, I feel that as parents, we feel that anything our kids do is reflective of us being good people, being good parents, and we really put that unconsciously, that ahead of everything. So if the child throws a tantrum when she or he is younger, or doesn't follow the rules, it is my failure. I'm not a good parent. So that reflects on the child eventually, because we take actions based on us, not them.
Absolutely. And then the child gets it from all directions, because not only do they get it at home from our parenting or our every interaction, but then they hear it at school, and you don't realize, the redirection sometimes isn't really redirections, but labels get thrown around quick. And what I've learned through my son quickly is a lot of kids are walking around with all these labels and all this weight at 8, 9, 10 years old, and they're feeling the weight of the world, and I'm just like, what is going on? So my process started with me. I started making changes. I started working on my sanity, what I needed to be happy. And the weird thing was, as I started to look at me, they started to change, my kids, and it was rather quickly. I started noticing a change in behavior, a change in energy, the feeling of the house. Everything started changing. It started shifting. So the more honest and real I got with myself, and I got with them, and I realized that I had to stop taking, like you were saying, taking responsibility for what they were doing. But I had to realize that he's a human being. He has his own thoughts. And sometimes as parents, I think we get wrapped up in parenting, authority. It's my job to set the rules, tell you how to do it. You need to get A's. You need to do this, do that. And I think him not wanting to live, I didn't care about anything else. Okay, why is he feeling like this? And that's when I started realizing, he's a human being. He has thoughts. They have feelings. And my communication shifted. So I just got really real and more vulnerable with them. So when I was hurt or confused or sad or crying, whereas once upon a time I wouldn't really show that, because I always wanted them to see me.
To feel perfect. Everything. Mommy is in control.
Yeah, I could handle it, because you need to be strong, because life's not easy, But what I found was it's the opposite. Showing them my feelings, telling them how I feel and how I work through it, has made them better. It's making us both better. So what I've learned is that I believe that my son and his challenges and all of our chaos, I think it was a gift for me, because he really gave me the
He became
push.
your teacher.
Yeah. Oh, he is my teacher every day.
Yeah.
He was the one. His experiences thus far in life is what made me, like, having someone push you against the wall and say, what are you going to do now? And there's nowhere to go when your back's against the wall. You got to make a choice.
It's as parents, one of the things that, I didn't necessarily practice this when I was, my kids were growing up, because I didn't know better. I know better now. So that's what I'm trying to do, all of this, is that your children tell you what they need and what they want, and being open to hearing them. and not coming from a place of control and I'm the authority, I'm the parent,
Right.
and I tell you what and you do what I tell you, is that if you shift that, a lot will shift,
Right.
you know? So,
Yes, and that's what's happened is a lot shifted. Educating my son on emotions, communications, me shifting the way I showed and spoke about them, shifted his entire. It's continuous work. I'm not saying it's one and
No.
done. It's constant, but he's understanding himself. He's ripping off the labels, and he's been able to understand that labels don't define you. You define you, and there's much more to you than what people see or what people think, because you think you have the power to choose. You have all this amazing ability. So it brought us to a place where people at school were noticing language he was using. It asked, and it brought a conversation about of what we were doing at home, why he was changing, why he was using language like he was. And I told the teachers, I refuse. I'm not going to wait on the school district to educate on self-awareness and emotional IQ. I'm doing it myself. That night he said he didn't want to live and he didn't think he was the best version of himself. That for me was turning point.
Yeah.
Period. No going back. So long story short, what happened is I ended up talking to the principal, sharing what I had been working with my son. They asked me to put a proposal together to come into the school and pilot a program, and I was like, whoa, all kids need this stuff. So now,
yes, they do.
Yeah, so now I'm working with children, I'm working with parents, and just teaching the life skills that are needed to navigate through the world. I'm not a therapist. I am a determined mom, and the struggles that my own son had starting at 8 years old, he allowed me to learn that a lot of children feel similar to him. Yes. A lot of the younger generation, and you may not notice. They may be the straight A students. They may be the quiet ones, and you think they're just okay, and you ask them how they are, and they just say, oh, I'm good. Everything's fine. School's good. There's more going on.
There's a storm brewing underneath. I taught at high school level, and that experience helped me actually be better parent, because I saw so many examples of exactly what you're talking about, and it is wonderful, just the work that I do as a transformation coach.
Right.
As adults, we have pushed so many of these emotions down,
right.
and we never dealt with them. How wonderful it is that you provide this opportunity for the kids, giving them the tools and the skills to deal with those emotions and being able to work through them, so they don't have to deal with them when they are at your age or my age.
Exactly.
Or so thank you so much for doing what you're doing. That is amazing.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience.
I appreciate that very much.
I'm pretty sure that as we post this, we will share some of the activities that you're doing in the community, and we go from there.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And as you hear, her story has changed her life and many other people. She's touching their lives. Now you can share your story and touch other people's life and make a difference. If you have a story, just give me a call and let's chat a bit and go from there. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Of course.